Fight fans, this is Chris Guzman with your weekly Thursday night injection of boxing talk, updates and all-out arguments. This is your Bolo Punch Boxing Hour, brought to you by George Rogie Insurance. It is Thursday night, December the 18th, 2008. We are live from Leg Up Studios Productions in Hobart, Indiana. My partner in crime, Abel Soto-Babinski-Kegabine's got a pretty weird story. Was under the knife a couple of nights ago due to a shoulder injury that he sustained at work. Mo, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm doing all right. I'm medicated and ready to get talk some boxing. There's a lot of fights on this week.
I'm medicated too.
Every one of them. Winding up with the contender last night and starting off with probably the most exciting fight of the week versus Network last week with Adamek and Cunningham.
Adamek and Cunningham. That went live while we were going live, so we were not able to actually watch it when it happened, but I've seen it since. And if that's not fight of the year, I don't know what the hell is.
Well, the only thing that's going to contend with it is Vasquez Marquez 3, right at the beginning of the year.
That was early, yeah.
And the exciting last round of that one kind of with those two top-rated, top 10 pound-for-pound guys going at it, that might be ahead of this one. But I don't know, that fourth and eighth round were great in this light heavyweight match between Adamek and Cunningham. I think maybe round 4 might be round of the year.
Lots of knockdowns in that fight too. Plenty.
All brought to you by Thomas Adamek.
Yeah.
Adamek was displaying how much power he actually had compared to Cunningham. He thought coming into this Cunningham's speed was going to roll the night, but Adamek showed that he had speed as well as power.
Not exactly what I expected from Cunningham. Cunningham had not really been challenged yet at his present seat at cruiser. He had lots of easy times with his opponents up till now. He hadn't really been challenged, and for his first challenge,
he had made easy work of everybody that he fought.
Yeah, and for his first real challenge to the throne, for him to lose it, people are going to ask questions about Steve Cunningham.
Yeah, but it also brings to mind how underrated that Adamek is. A lot of people have Adamek rated so high. He only has one loss on his record. He was a former title holder at light heavy.
Yep.
Before he moved up to super middle after his only loss against Chad Dawson, one of the top 10 pound guys.
And you said it right there. Before we get on to all this Dawson and Tarver, you brought up bad Chad Dawson. I've got to talk about that. I've got a pile of fights and boxing events that I got to talk about. Timmy the producer Patterson, how you doing tonight? And how can our listeners get in touch with us tonight?
Well, I'm not doing very good, so I'm not going to talk very much tonight.
We've got Mike Michael on the show today.
I have a cold, but you can reach us on hotline 219-743-9743. Yahoo Instant Messenger is up and running, keyword Bolo Punch Boxing Hour, or hit us up on the chat room board via ustream.tv.
Do you have an announcement you'd like to make?
Well, we went for the ultrasound yesterday, and we are having a boy.
You are having a boy, so congratulations to Tim and Maggie Patterson of Hobart, Indiana. They are having a boy, so there will be a little boy named Bolo Punch Patterson. From what I understand, that names have already been taken and chosen, and I think we're covered. So,
yep,
awesome. Tonight, live on the show in about 20-25 minutes, we've got Mr. Ed Brophy, the president and CEO of the Boxing Hall of Fame, the International Boxing Hall of Fame of Canastota, New York. He's going to be talking all about Lennox Lewis and Orlando Canizales, Larry Merchant, and all the rest of the class of 2009, which was announced late last week. I believe Wednesday or Thursday of last week it was officially announced. But Lennox Lewis, head in the pack of 2009. I didn't think he had been retired for 5 years, but evidently he has. Amo, how awesome is the Hall of Fame every year? Yeah.
Yeah, this year they had a small group of people show up last year. Not a really small, but a thinning group of people. Hopefully next year they can get a little bit bigger group, and have to ask him what he can do to change that.
Okay. So you feel that the crowds weren't as big as we're used to?
No, it wasn't quite as hard to get the big autographs that we were looking for the year before when Duran went in. Last year when Holmes went in, it seemed like it was thinned out quite a bit. I'm sure it has a lot to do with the economy and people not having money to travel. I'm just wondering if they're doing something different this year to bring more fans in.
Well, we'll definitely be asking him in about 20 minutes when we get Ed Brophy, the president of the Hall of Fame, live and on the air. First on the docket, Glenn Johnson lashes out at Dawson Tarver 2. Chad Dawson is, instead of taking on Glenn Johnson, Chad Dawson is instead of taking on Glenn Johnson, he's going to be taking on Antonio Tarver in a rematch. And Glenn Johnson, who is still one of the most feared fighters in the division, in the light heavyweight division, is wondering what the hell he has to do to get Chad Dawson in the ring. He's been calling his name out for about 3 years, Mo. What are your thoughts on that, man?
Well, not only should he be trying to get those guys, I mean, looking at this match for Adamek, he might even consider moving up some weight to get another match with Adamek. I don't know. So a lot going on at the light heavy. He's going to have to possibly give up one of his titles to sign that fight as well. Because I know Sports Cloud's the #1 ranking in one of those weight classes. I believe it's IBF, isn't it, Chris?
It's not one of the weight classes. It would be one of the sanctioning bodies, but yeah.
Yeah, one of the sanctioning bodies. You're correct.
Yeah.
I believe it's IBF, but I'm not positive.
I'm not either, but that sounds right.
Two belts that he won. Cloud won that in Chicago in his last fight. He won the mandatory. So, that's another guy that's coming up. There's plenty of guys that he could fight, but obviously he wants to fight the big names to get the big paycheck.
Oh, that's the name of the game. But Glenn Johnson being ducked as often as he is, he wonders just what in the world he has to do in order to get this going on. He says, you already saw Dawson Tarver won, and Tarver did nothing against Chad Dawson. Why do you need to see that fight again? He's calling it backward steps. If he wants to fight the best, he needs to move forward, and he believes that Glenn Johnson is himself the better of these three gentlemen. So
yeah, he definitely, Glenn Johnson is probably the second best in this weight class. So at this point, it's proven at this point. Dvorak hasn't taken on the biggest names yet, so you can't really consider him the top of the weight class. I don't know if Dvorak would bring in as much money as what even Glenn Johnson would bring in. I mean, people are getting to know Johnson a little bit, so I'm sure he'll start bringing in some money as well. Everybody knows that it was a tougher fight for Chad Dawson against Glenn Johnson. So I don't know why they wouldn't want to see that fight again, other than Johnson's style isn't the most eye-pleasing.
Very true, very true. Johnson still thinks that he was sort of screwed out of the decision against Dawson as well. So.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the only decision he's ever been screwed out of, though. He's been screwed out of a few decisions.
Yeah, Glenn Johnson sits at the Emmanuel Augustus table, actually, for along with Ike Corte. Ike Corte sits at that table.
Yeah, Ike Corte. Yeah, there's a lot of guys at that table that don't look pleasing to the eye, so a lot of judges don't score it their way.
Even if they deserve the decision. Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. Holyfield Valuev, that's happening this weekend. I just found out last week that it's actually going to be pay-per-view. I thought it was going to be on free HBO.
Yeah, and it's actually a foreign pay-per-view, so it's going to be pretty much impossible to get here in the States. I'm definitely going to be going on our
good friend.
Whatever one I can find to try to get this. I'm guessing just go on Yahoo Answers and ask people how you can see this fight on the internet. That's probably your best bet.
Yeah.
We're not going to put it up on our website because it's already illegal. We don't need to get in bad with any of the promoters.
No one goes on our website.
Finding a way to watch this fight, even if you have to wait a few days to see it on YouTube.
True. It's worth it. It's worth it. I mean, let me tell you how the fight's going to go. It's going to be 12 rounds of Valuev jabbing that jab in Holyfield's face, and Holyfield trying to lunge in and getting nothing done. And at the end, it'll be Valuev's hand raised. You don't even have to watch the fight. How's that? And then they'll put it.
Make sure you click on the high definition view that you can click now right below the video in the right hand corner. Actually, our videos that are getting put up there, you can click on that well, and you get a better quality video.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a high speed internet connection where your cable internet provider can download that quick enough so it doesn't pause. Mine kind of pauses, so what I have to do is I have to let it load for a little while, then start watching it before I can watch it on a lot of the videos.
Yeah, you got to do that with other stuff too, don't you?
It looks so much better when you watch it the fights on that. I mean, you can blow it up to full screen and it looks great.
Yeah.
He didn't catch
And
that.
I put a couple fights that were on this week, including Adamek and Cunningham fight, the first link to that one. So that same thing, click on high quality and watch that video in high quality if you haven't got to see it yet.
Ricky the Hitman Hatton claims that Juan Manuel Marquez and Juan Diaz have both approached him to fight. That Juan Diaz wants to fight Hitman Hatton, Juan Manuel Marquez wants to fight Hitman Hatton, and he believes that he's claiming also that Floyd Mayweather wants a rematch with Ricky Hatton. Now I was on board with
I think he's just throwing that in there because Pacquiao might fight Hatton.
I can buy the Marquez, I can buy the Juan Diaz, both of those guys wanting to fight Hitman Hatton, but not Mayweather. Mayweather proved his dominance over Hatton once. He does not need Hatton anymore. He never needs to fight him again. So that I think that's made up. So it's going to be a race between Hatton and Mayweather to see who gets to fight Pacquiao next. Is what it's going to end up being.
Well, it looks like Marquez and Diaz are actually set up and ready to fight. It's all but done. And it looks like Hatton might be fighting that fight, the negotiations for that fight has been all but done as well for Manny Pacquiao to fight Ricky Hatton. So those are the two next fights that I'm looking for. Looks like the date will be May 2nd in Las Vegas for the Pacquiao and Hatton fight. I'm getting this off of Fight News right now.
Oh, okay.
So, and then the Golden Boy's also been working on a February 28th date for the Marquez-Diaz fight, which will be a great fight as well. Juan Diaz, that is.
Yeah. Oh, Marquez against Juan Diaz. That's gonna be something, and it will also keep Nacho Beristain busy still.
Yeah, and that fight's gonna be in Texas, so that's
Diaz.
Juan Diaz's hometown, homeland. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be in actually his hometown city, but I mean, in Houston. But he's gonna have the following from all the Texas fans there. Big time.
No, you're right about that. Next story is David Hay actually in a magazine, Men's Health, on the British side of the pond, in Men's Health, he paid them extra to go ahead and run a photo of himself, of David Hay, holding the bloody head of Vitaly Klitschko. So in the British Men's Health magazine, there is a photo of David Hay holding Vitaly Klitschko's bloody head. And Vitaly Klitschko is beyond pissed. First of all, that they would run it. Second of all, that David Hay would pay extra in order for that to happen. Now, it's obviously photoshopped or whatever, but...
yeah, but he's obviously trying to promote a Klitschko fight with them. He's won his first fight at heavyweight and looked pretty good at it against Monty Barrett. And Klitschko obviously just won most of his fights that he's had in the last year. I mean,
Yeah.
Lehman Brewster, Kevin Brock, Chris Bernard, Austin, Thompson.
No.
Brock Hockman just this last weekend. All those are Americans. So you're looking for the guys overseas to start getting a shot at his belt. I mean, at the top of the list is Povetkin and Hayes. So those are the two top guys. And Povetkin's already slated actually to have to fight him. Hay would probably be after that. Hayes just trying to turn up the heat, I'm sure, to get his name in the mix.
Yeah, he wants Vitaly, though. He doesn't. He's not as interested in fighting Vladimir, who just fought Hasim Rahman.
Yeah.
He,
I don't know. I think he'd be interested in fighting either one of them. Either one of them would bring gold around his waist.
True, it would. I think he wants Vitaly first, though.
Slightly easier match, I would think, at this point, but not much easier. I think they're both tough fighters, and it's going to be a tough fight for him either way that he goes.
No, you're right about that. It could go either way. He wants Vitaly first, though, and I don't know. I could sort of see that fight. I can see it happening. I can see him fighting Vitaly because Vitaly coming back in. I mean, he's still sort of green. I mean, it's not really green so much as it is gray from rust. because he's been out for so long. So, but he looked good in his last fight.
Yeah, he looked very good against the guy that many people were picking to win that fight, and same with Peter. I mean, Peter worked his way all the way to the top of the division, and since he lost that fight, has been relatively not talked about. And I mean, I don't know if he's going to slip away like we've seen from Kelvin Brock. I mean, we haven't heard anything from Kelvin Brock since he was knocked out by Klitschko.
I think he's lost again. I think he's lost again.
Both those guys have slipped away pretty much since their fights with the Klitschko brothers.
You're right about that. I have a hard time picking an American heavyweight now whose job it is to wade in and try to land one big shot. No one's getting it done. No one is getting it done anymore. There aren't any American heavyweights that have a big punch that are able to get that punch landed. Yeah, there's
play different sports, boxing, MMA, not boxing, MMA, but football or basketball or football.
Football or basketball or football.
All the teams are deciding they don't want to get punched in the face.
And who can blame them?
I mean, one of the big names that are coming back that we actually seen fight on the undercard is Greg Bowe. It's tough to see a former heavyweight champ coming back, mainly just fighting because he needs the money. But obviously he sees that Bellweb is giving a title shot to his former foe, Vander Holyfield, and Holyfield ends up pulling us out some way, or even if he loses, they'll be able to spin it into a full Holyfield fight, which all their matchups are great. I don't know how great it would be seeing these two older guys fight, but I'm sure that's what he's looking for.
That's what he's looking for, but hell, why don't we get Ali and Frazier to fight for a fourth time too? While we're at it, as long as we're dusting off former heavyweight champions.
I don't have Bowe's age, but he came into this one at 271. He's 6'5", so 271 is not enormously big. There's actually a little clip of this on our YouTube site as well. Him actually knocking this guy out that he fought.
Yeah.
It's a view from up in the stands. Fan obviously recorded it and then put it on YouTube.
Well, we love fans like that. We love fans that are willing to do that for us.
Yeah, because I've learned the hard way you can't put that stuff on without getting your at least threatening to get your page taken off of YouTube. So I quit doing that a long time ago. I just basically use everybody else's videos. I put them on our page.
Hey, that's no problem there. Because at least they know where they can find everything, all the best stuff. Because you go through it all and plug it onto our page, so that's cool.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. And actually, I'm trying to look for. Showtime's actually got it up already of all their top fights of the year. A lot of it's MMA that they put in their little montage that they put together. But I'm looking for an HBO one or an ESPN one. So it makes it a lot easier to look through for when we do our of the year awards. Just to look at those compilations, and it kind of brings to your mind real quick. Oh, these are the 2 or 3 fights that I need to watch real close.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you take the time to go ahead and do that. I'm not pleased that you're injured, but now that you are, you've got a lot of downtime. So.
Yeah. Actually, I'm hoping if we can get enough of those playlists like that, I'll make a separate little video thing, separate category, just for of the year collages or montages, and we'll put a second one up on our webpage, and so it doesn't just have our show on the top, we'll also have a second set of videos on that, and they'll be of all those compilation videos.
That's good. Also, next week, you've got an assignment, Mo, because I'm about to let you go here, because we've got an interview in a second.
Yeah, you got the interview, big interview with
with Ed Brophy.
Yeah.
Of the International Boxing Hall of Fame. But you've got an assignment. You've got an assignment for next week, actually, Emil. I need your 2009 wish list. This is something we do. This is something we do every year. What are some things you want to see happen in boxing? Some matchups you want to see. Maybe some policies that you'd like to see get changed.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, one of my big wishes is to see a rematch of the fight that was last Thursday. Adam and Cunningham. Hopefully Versus will re-sign that, and another big choice of mine would be for Versus to pick up some more fights because just the way I love watching it on their HD channel, the way that it's presented on there, with the great color and the great lighting that they have.
Our big question, Tim, is would Emil be watching Versus if it was not HD?
Yeah, he would.
Well, Versus does not help us pay our bills. So as of right now, the story stays that he will, but we'll see. We'll see as things go along. Mo, we're going to go ahead and let you go. We're going to take our first break of the night. I thank you for coming on. Hope you get better real quick, and we'll talk to you next week. We'll be right back, boys and girls, with our live interview with the CEO and president of the International Boxing Hall of Fame, Canastota, New York, Mr. Ed Brophy. We'll be right back at you. This is your Bolo Punch Boxing Hour, brought to you by George Rogie Insurance, www.bolopunchboxinghour.com, streaming to you live, as always, on Ustream.tv.